Hello. So, how is everyone today? And surprise! Cinderella phenomenon Evermore on Monday because I'm busy on Friday, so we are doing it today. And so we are also taking a little bit longer. Instead of my now usual 1-2 hour streams. Today I'm going to do a 3 hour stream more or less, like what I used to do. So there is that. And let's just hope to go further on Rod's road in order to obtain the best end with him as soon as possible. Because then I need to do Rumpel, and then I need to do Fritz, because best boys Karmas and Waltz, but if I have to pick between Karma and Waltz, I'll pick Waltz. Without blinking, so let's just go. Also, I think maybe Stream Elements is it. I don't know. Oh, now I know why. Oh, yeah. I need to change things now again. I forgot to put it on. Forgot to put it bigger. This was on me now. It was perfectly placed. I just forgot that was on window mode. Now it's better. Load. Load. The next day, Rod and I head out to the forest. Just as I anticipated, the trees are more vibrant today. Their branches weighed down by shining red apples. It's beautiful. I reach out to touch one of the apples. Do you think we should pick some for Elaine? I'm sure she'd love that. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves of the trees. As we take in our surroundings, the sound of birds chirping punctuates the gentle silence. Being here with Rod makes me feel at peace. For the moment, neither of us has to worry about being seen in each other's company. We can relax. This place is full of nostalgia. I look forward to our secret meetings here. Funny that we're still meeting here like this, even after so much has changed. We stand there for a few moments, savoring the peace and quiet. And then Ross slowly steps away from me and holds out his hand. May I have this dance? Of course. The two of us never needed music to dance. I close my eyes and lean my head against his chest, relishing the feeling of his closeness. It has been a long time since we danced like this, but I have the movements memorized. It is easy to slide back into a routine. Later, when the sun sinks below the horizon, Rod turns to me. As much I can speak. As much why? As much as I enjoyed this, I think we should head back. He smiles. Your dance lessons are about to start. We need to, and we unfortunately need a bigger space for them. I take his arm when he offers it. So, apple picking, and then we return to the palace? Rod nods. Rod? Thank you for suggesting this break. Anything for you, Viviana? The next day, Father officially introduces Rod as our dance instructor. The announcement causes quite a stir, and soon, all of the servants are talking about him. It is not long before the gossip spreads through NGL. Most of what people are saying is positive. It seems Rod does have quite a reputation. It is amazing that Rod has made a name for himself in so short time. I hope he overhears these conversations and is proud of himself. I certainly am. I'm on my way to the throne room when I hear one such conversation between two mates. So, what do you think of the new dance instructor? He looks to have a stern demeanor, but I'm sure maybe he's a secret charmer. The giggle. I'm impressed that someone so young has earned so much prestige in Brigantia. I can only imagine how talented he must be. And he's so handsome too, but I wonder what he looks like when he smiles. He always has such a scowl on his face. Do they never tired of gossiping? But it's strange, isn't it? Sir Rod has visited the palace many times before. I wonder why. Oh? Do you suppose he's courting Princess Emmeline? They seem very close. Oh, maybe you're right. I nearly choke on my own breath, and have to put a hand on my mouth to keep from laughing. You know what's strange though? The fact that they look so similar. That is rather odd. Do you think he could be courting Princess Diviana? You think? From what I overheard, Princess Diviana has never expressed interest in any of her suitors. Well, I guess I'm grateful no one has caught onto that tidy bit of gossip, at least. I shake my head as I make my way to the throne room. Rod and Emmeline look up in unison. When I step inside, Emmeline immediately shoves her hand behind her back and smiles at me. It is a strained smile.
Hello, Diviana.
Are you okay?
Of course. Why wouldn't I be?
Her voice actually squeaks, and I'm unsure of whether to be confused or concerned. I raise an eyebrow. Rod gives Emmeline a gentle nudge. Aren't you going to be late for your piano lessons, Em?
Oh, you're right. I'll see you both later.
Emmeline makes a beeline for the door, and only slows as she gets closer to me. She turns and, obviously hiding something behind her back, continues to sidestep toward the door. You're acting strange.
It's just your imagination.
The last thing to leave her mouth before she exits, in an excruciatingly awkward laugh. Rod looks like he is trying not to cringe. Emmeline is a terrible liar. I turn to Rod expectantly. So let's save. And staying silent is the right one. They are obviously keeping some secrets from me, but I'm more amused than irritated. I cannot help the smile on my face. What is it? Nothing at all. Rod smiles, if not a little awkwardly, before turning to a nearby table to look at his music sheets. The table is new. Father had it placed here for our lessons. So, have you heard the last gossip? Rod groans. Please tell me you're not actually interested in that. I assure you this gossip is a little more entertaining. How so? I overheard a rumor you were courting Emmeline today. Rod stares at me in horror. I laugh at his reaction. You're just messing with me. No, it's the truth. Who started this rumor? Do they not realize how ridiculous it is? Rod pinches the bridge of his nose. Why did it have to be M? There was nothing about you? I suppose we have no chemistry. That just means our acting is impeccable. How much longer are we going to pretend, Rod? It has been 2 years. You made this wish, so we didn't have to hide. So why are we still doing this? Rod looks away, eyes distant. Are you still afraid people will think you unworthy because you are a commoner? Rod flinches. I saw that mother went through after marrying the king. I know it must have been a difficult transition, but Ophelia is well loved. I look at him perplexed. Are you scared you would have to go through the same thing as Ophelia? I don't care what people say about me. I'm concerned about what they'll say about you. Rod, you already know I do not care about what others say about me. I am no stranger to shutting people out. I've lived most of my life being hated by this kingdom, Rod. I think I can handle myself just fine. You're right, maybe it is me after all. Rod abruptly shrugs, as if shirking the worry from his shoulders. Let's not talk about this right now. I just remember something I wanted to discuss with you. Oh? I was thinking last night about how you never responded to my last letter. Oh. There was no time. You arrived 3 days later. 3 days later. Em intercepted a messenger that day to make sure no letters were being sent to me. She didn't see anything from you. I was going to write, but I was upset that day and wanted to put it off until I was calmer. If this is because of my wish, then maybe I never should have told you about it. I stared at him baffled. Rod, can you imagine how terrible I would have felt if you hadn't told me? Leaving me in the dark would have been the greatest insult to me. Rod shakes his hand. Oh my god, my voice. Why my voice has been doing this all day? Rod shakes his head. Sorry, that was a stupid thing to say. I know it was a bit late, and I know I'd already made up my mind, but you needed to know. And I always figured that if you truly despised the idea, I would stop. But you were hopeful, weren't you? Even if you were a bit reluctant. Maybe I was hopeful. I did not get as angry as him as I should have, but did it really seem that way to him? Diviana, I know you're unsatisfied right now, but trust me, I learned from my mistakes. From here on out, we face our problems together. I like that, Rod. Only, it is difficult to do things together when you live so far away. I know, but I promise you I have a plan, right? I'll make things work. I look at him with scrutiny, but Rod does not waver this time. He regards me confidently, and after a few moments, I cave. I will trust you then. Rod sighs. I wanted this, Diviana, not just for you, but for myself too. Being a prince was a constant reminder of how much I lied to the world about who I was. With this wish, I start living a life crafted by my own hands. But before I can say anything else, Rod has closed the distance between us and pressed his lips to mine, effectively cutting my words. Afterwards, he pulls back and looks right into my eyes, his face flushed. It strikes me that this has happened more than a few times. Must you always do that so suddenly? Rod rumbles and shrugs. It's always the easiest way to get you to stop talking, anyway. I love you, Diana, and I would do anything for you. No matter what happens in the future, I know I will never regret this wish. Rod sets a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. Stop worrying about all of this, okay? I promise it will work out. Hi Nameless, how are you? Also thank you for the lurk. I cannot promise, but I will certainly try. That's good enough for me. Now, he reaches for my hand and plants a kiss on the back of it. Shall we continue where we left off yesterday? I smile as I place my other hand on its shoulder. We shall. I forgot to take the sound of my phone. These past few days, Rod has been teaching me one of the Brigantia dances he learned. This dance in particular is full of energy and involves a lot of twirling and side steps. Rod leads me into spin after spin. We have become comfortable enough dancing with each other that we do not need to focus on our steps when we move. I'm glad, because it allows me to focus on his serene expression. Why can't I speak? Is there something on my face? I shake my head. Nothing but your wonderful smile. I was just thinking how much I missed dancing with you. I'm here, but now we can do it every day. Yes, only how much longer will be every day last? By the time the song has stopped, I am almost out of breath. A job well done, Diana. You still need to practice your footwork, but you're learning quickly. Rod leads me to the chair and hands me a glass of water. Thank you. I'll gulp down at least half of the glass before facing Rod. The dance was exhausting. How are you not out of breath? I've had a lot of practice. Once you get used to the steps, they become cathartic. You just need to build some stamina. It's a dance that suits Brigantians though. They're very lively. I look at Rod, curious. Can you tell me more about life in Brigantia? Rod seems to ponder quietly for a few moments, then after some consideration, he pulls out a chair and sits beside me. He begins by telling me how difficult life was for him at the beginning, especially given that he'd never left the kingdom before. He was constantly homesick, but Claude and his family were able to lighten that burden by being overly accommodating. At first, it was overwhelming. Eventually, however, Rod became accustomed to the royal family's enthusiasm. He tells me very briefly about them. When he brings up Lance, Claude's brother, I cannot help but wonder. I have spoken to Lance a few times. He seems more cordial than Claude, but I do not know him well. I wonder what he is like. Rod crosses his arms. Being a student was easier than being a teacher. Back when I lived here, All I needed to do was study. I might not have been good at most of my classes, but at least it was straightforward work. Really? Emmeline told me once that you were a fast learner. She said you knew how to sing, dance, cook. Got flushes. I excelled in those things because I enjoyed them, not because I was a good student. I look at him curious. I've never heard you sing or watched you cook. Rod shrugs. Dancing was the easiest way for me to express myself when I lost my voice. Now, it feels like the most natural thing to focus on. The traditional classwork was never come easy to me. And here I thought the only thing you were bad at was expressing your feelings. Rod's cheeks turned red and the endearing shade of pink as he scowled at me. You're the worst. He sighs as he glances out the window and at some distant sights. So, what are you bad at then? Why would you ask me that? Because I'm curious. You have to promise not to laugh. I won't. Rod stares down at his hand and sighs. History, politics, fencing, remembering dates and names, and combat. My swordmanship is atrocious. There is a clear distress in Rod's eyes when he confesses this to me. His usual stoic facade is broken. The Rod I see before me looks vulnerable and anxious. I cannot help but smile. Why are you smiling? I'm always happy when you open up to me. It makes me feel like I'm part of your life. And from now on, I'll make sure to tell you even the little things. I'd love that. Once my desk lessons are over, I head back to my room to practice creating simple potions. This is a solitary task, one I normally practice in my free time. However, probably because I am always so bored during the experiments, I sit up. I sit up gradually, realizing belatedly that I have fallen asleep at my desk. Various potion ingredients lay scattered on the surface. I stare at the clock. Is already the next day? How in the world did I sleep through last night's dinner? A knock sounded at the door. Your Highness, His Majesty required your presence in the throne room. Understood? I wonder what he wants from me too early in the morning. Father is seated on his throne. When I enter, Rod stands before him. Good morning, Viviana. Good morning, Father. I approach orderly. Called you here for an important announcement. What would you like to do the honors? Rod, would you like to do the honors? I'm surprised with a glowing smile on Rod's face. I have officially asked permission from His Majesty to court you, Viviana. I sat between the two of them with wide eyes. When did this happen? Last night. You were already asleep, so we thought it was the best to wait until morning to tell you. I turned my baffled gaze to Rod, who is still smiling. I thought about what you said. I agree. It's time we stop hiding. There's no reason for it anymore. I move before I can think. In a heartbeat, I have my arms wrapped around Rod's waist and my head on his shoulder. It feels as if a momentous weight has suddenly been lifted from my shoulders. There will be no more hiding, which means I no longer have to hide my affection for him. News of our courtship spread like wildfire. I'm accustomed to gossip, and I'm unfazed by the tension. But I can tell Rod is unnerved by the student spotlight. Still, we both do our best to continue our daily routines. I do notice, however, that Rod has become busier in recent days. He tells me he has been meeting with father about important matters. I figure it is about the upcoming ball. I have just finished my dance lessons for the day, though Robert is meeting with father in the drum room. I have no such obligations and decide to return to my room to read up on potion making. I'm passing by the dining hall when I paused, hearing voices inside. And because he was so embarrassed, he ended up running away. I hear laughter. That definitely sounds like Rod. Those voices. I push open the door to the ball. Ophelia and Emmeline look up when I enter. I'm shocked to see Stevie there sitting on Emmeline's shoulder. Before Rod and Stevie were inseparable. But ever since Rod returned, I'm barely seeing them together. I wonder why. Oh, hello, Viviana.
Perfect timing. We were just talking about you.
Now, so I'm just going to do. I just need to do a little break. I'll be right back. yeah, I'm back. Let's just continue. Emily cups her head. Oh my god. Okay. Emily cups her hand to her mouth. Casts a surreptitious look over my shoulder and then whispers. Rod? Obviously. Ophelia beckons me over to the table, then turns back to Sally. So what's happened after that? How was I doing otherwise?
The refusal to step out of his room the whole day. When others asked after him, he flagrant sickness.
Emily sighs.
Why didn't he just refuse the gifts?
Probably because most of them were from no woman, and refusing outright would have been insulting. What is this about gifts to noble woman?
Oh, I was just telling everyone how popular Rod is with Burgundian noble woman. He was sent various gifts from women young on heart today, but because he didn't want to refuse them, he avoided everything altogether by staying in his room.
I do not realize I am glaring until Ophelia places a hand on my arm. Tiviana? I forced a scowl from my face immediately, not even sure why it was there in the first place.
You don't need to worry, princess. He told them he was in love with someone else.
I can feel my face at his words.
Oh, you're blushing.
I'm not.
I promised to look after Rod, and I intended to keep that promise. And that goes for you too, princess. If I have to drive away 100 women, I'll do it.
The thought of a tiny plush bunny attempting to scare off a gaggle of girls makes me laugh. Before I know it, I became absorbed in the conversation. Hours later, when our conversation winds down, I make my way back to my room to read my potions book. Today, I'm going to the Martian for one of my magic lessons. Or at least, that was my plan. Just yesterday, however, I received a letter from Parfait saying there was a change in plans. Everyone at the Martian has decided to throw a small celebration for Rod and me. At first, Rod seemed reluctant to go, but he couldn't refuse after Parfait personally requested his presence. In the end, the two of us agreed to go by carriage. Rod is already standing by the carriage when I arrive. I smile when our eyes meet, but Rod only nods, his mind seemingly elsewhere. Immediately notice the dark circles under his eyes. Everything alright? I'm fine. I just didn't get much sleep last night. I was up reading the King's books, far past midnight. The King's books? I found out only a few days ago that Father started letting Rod specific study materials. Apparently, those books are meant to teach Rod about more policies and rules governing our kingdom. I hope you are not overworking yourself. Rod smiles. It is a tired but thankfully reassuring smile. I'm not. He holds out a hand and helps me into the carriage. No sooner have we entered the town than some of the town folks, noticing the royal carriage, begin to wave at us. The response is uplifting before the masses avoided me. Now things are different. Things first began to change when I made a public apology after breaking my curse. The town folks were at first a spectacle, and whether or not I would follow my mother's footsteps at the Tenebran bedroom. But their trust began to grow when I started dispelling fairy tale curses.
Princess!
I look out the window and see a little boy running to keep pace with the carriage.
Can I give you something? A gift, please?
I order the carriage to step out. The boy flashes a toothy grin. Then, without any problem, he holds out a lily.
I got this for you, princess.
I took the flower from him with a gentle smile. Thank you. Oops. The boy clasps his hands behind his back and smiles shyly.
Someday, I'll become a prince and marry you.
I am simultaneously bemused and taken aback by the confession. I appreciate your gift, but I'm afraid I'm already courting a prince. I gesture at Rod, who stands between me and the carriage. The boy blinks.
But it's not a real prince, right?
This was the wrong one. You're right. I kneel down in front of the boy, so we can see eye to eye. But you do not need to be a prince to marry a princess.
Really?
Ophelia's words came to mind. One's title should not be a hindrance when it comes to love, she once said. Everyone is free to love whomever they want. The boy looks between the two of us. His bright smile returns. That must mean Sir Rod loves you very much. I glance at Rod, whose cheeks have reddened to a softened crimson. With all my heart. Oh, but at the same time, the words came out a low mumble, and only the boy and I can hear them. Still, they make my heart flutter. I give the boy my heartfelt thanks before stepping back into the carriage. With all your heart, huh? Ross crosses his arms and turns his head away, but there is no hiding the flush on his cheeks. You already know that. Of course I do, but you are not the type to boldly declare your love in front of others. I wouldn't say it boldly. Rod's voice is an embraced mumble. I cross my arms thoughtful. I confess, I was a little taken aback by this comment. Regardless of where his curiosity came from, the boy was right. I'm not a prince. Well, why is that a problem? You yourself did not wish to remain a prince. I know that. He smiles weakly before turning his attention back to the view outside of the window. Something definitely seems off about him.
Princess Diana, Rod, welcome.
Oh my god, I need to burp. I feel... Oh my god, I feel the burp on my throat. Ah! Yes. What do you say? I don't know how to say it. Anis is the first to welcome us when we arrive at Martian. No sooner have we stepped inside, however, that another person makes himself known. If it isn't everyone's favorite princess. Chevalier smiles, is as sunny as always. He steps forward and sweeps into a courteous bow. It's been a while, Princess Viviana. That is, it has. Hello, Chevalier. Ever since Chevalier's curse was broken, he has been working at his clinic. Gone is a tenacious flirt, I used to know, and his place is an optimistic doctor. Wilson makes ill-timed jokes. Soon, we are surrounded by people. Rod stands awkwardly in the center of the room, surrounded by Chevalier and his Laurent Parfait. Walt is seated away from the commotion, leaning on the armrests with a grin on his face. Parfait's cousin, Sinner, is seated by the window, reading a book. He has not greeted either of us. Maybe this is just my imagination, but Laura raises an eyebrow. Her Royal Highness is looking particularly buoyant today. And are your cheeks red? What? Laura, you shouldn't tease Viviana so much. Parfait beams. Being able to flaunt one's love is always a thing to celebrate. Laura looks at me and snorts. Who are you? And what have you done with the princess? I still can't believe you fell in love. I bristle at the words. It's not as if this is news. And anyway, what is that supposed to mean, Laura? Sorry, princess. You're just too much fun to tease. But in all seriousness, I'm glad you found someone just as stubborn as you to cherish. I'm standing right here. Laura turns her grin to Rod. You must have some magic on your own, being able to melt the Ice Princess' heart? Come on, Laura, you're embarrassing them. They make it far too easy, Parfait. Rod turns away with a grumble, arms crossed. Chevalier breaks a momentary silence with an easygoing laugh. It really is a pleasure to see you again, Sir Rod. I haven't seen you since you left for Burgundy the first time. I believe the last time you were. He pauses, considering. Well, you were much shorter, but now look at you. You're almost as tall as the rest of us. He reaches out as if to set a hand on Rod's head, but Rod pulls away with a grimace. What do you mean almost as tall? Okay. Oz pointedly clears his throat and steps between Rod and Chevalier. So, how are things at the palace lately? Rod's expression softens. I cannot tell it is relieved by the change in subject. There is something on this road that I'm kind of sad, and I'm afraid that might happen on the other ones as well. That is the fact that Walt never tells us anything about we being childhood friends. Because he clearly says that on his route, and he demonstrates a little bit of that on Fritz's route. However, he never says anything about we being childhood friends and our mother deleting our memories. In at least on the last time we played, he didn't say anything. And right now, when we asked him what he wanted to do with his freedom and what is his next goal, because we thought his first goal was just breaking the curse, and he was like, no, I just want my friend to be happy. And we are the friend that he is talking about. However, he never tells us that it's us. We just know because we played the last game and we know about it, but he never tell us. So I'm wondering if he's ever going to tell us in this route, since we are doing the best hand, which means more information that we didn't get before, or if in any other routes beside him he's going to mention that. Because so far feels like he's just keeping it for himself. That was why he was also on its own corner in the beginning of this party, I feel like. Because he's also a little bit heartbroken since he was also interested in us. They're alright, busier than normal, but that's not to be expected with the news. Traveler steps forward and squints at us in turn. What? There are dark circles under your eyes. Have you been under more stress lately? Rod raises an eyebrow. It's rude to impede on someone else's space. Oh, my apologies. Traveler takes a step back. And I am fine. So Chevalier is quiet. I can tell by the wrinkle between his eyebrows that he is unconvinced. Before he can say anything else, I decide to offer my own opinion. This is the wrong one. He's doing well. He's just been busy, that's all. He's working as a dance instructor and taking lessons with a king. Your concern is unwarranted and unnecessary. Chevalier smiles. Sorry, I am, by my nature, a warrior. It's true. Chevalier takes his work seriously. A little too seriously, in my opinion. Lady Laura, I'm only trying to keep my patience healthy. He shakes his head. Anyway, I'm relieved I'm just overthinking this. You aren't overthinking. I lean closer to Rod and whisper in his ear as the conversation carries on. You are not allowed to overwork yourself, understood? Rod sighs. Understood. He smiles, but it does not reach his eyes. Sorry, let me just check something. I think he's still missing by an hour. I know who I'm going to read today. Somewhere nearby a book snaps shut. Must all of you be so loud? Sin approach, book tucked under his arm. I want to headpet him. I want to go to him when he's most grumpy and just go like, Pet, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. You don't need to have that skull on your face. That just makes him more pissed off. I just want to do that. I just want to do that. I think it's a lore in me. I swear, a person can't read in peace in this place. He stalks out of the room with a glare affixed to his face. There is silence for a few moments when he leaves. Then Chevalier laughs. The tiny lord is lively as always. Tiny lord? Why does he come up with the strangest nicknames? I guess that's one way of describing him. He may seem temperamental, but I assure you Cinnamon is quite pleasant. Once you get to know him. I glance at Rod. Seems like a certain someone I know. Rod says nothing. Even as I watch, he stifles a yawn. His eyes look glassy. Oh my god. Yarns are contagious even if I'm just reading it, because oh my god. That was something. I just read a word, yawn. There it goes. Exactly how many hours of sleep did you get last night? An hour? Or two? Rod! You're definitely pushing yourself too hard. Chevalier is right. You should take better care of yourself. I know you. You always push yourself. Rod shakes his head. Never mind. It's nothing. What? I know there's something on your mind, Rod. Rod responds with a smile. When I continue to scowl at him, he plants a kiss on my forehead. I swear it's nothing important. Don't worry. I'll get some rest when we get back to the palace. Fine. Not all of the old boarders are present today. We try to make the most of our small reunion. Anis prepares a small meal for dinner, and the gathering is lively. It's a shame that Sir Garland and Lady Julian couldn't be here. And it's been months since we saw Prince Claude. The knights wanted me to apologize on their behalf. They have been busy training new recruits. And the last time Claude wrote, he said he was busy with his duties. I doubt he'll be free anytime soon. I'm glad he still sends us letters every so often. I do rather miss having Miss Karma around. Chevalier growls. Speak for yourself. Miss Karma was always staring daggers at me. With good reason. What is Laura? Perfect laughs. I'm sure you will get the chance to have a bigger reunion soon. Conversation goes on, but I notice one person has remained quiet throughout. Rod has not spoken a word since we started eating. Is it because he's tired, stressed, or is there something else on his mind? I hope I can get to the root of whatever it is soon. I knew it! No More Secrets, Chapter 3. And now I save because it's a new chapter, and I save at every choice a new chapter. When we returned to the palace last night, Rod immediately retired to bed. I was up all night thinking about him, and how strange he has been acting. I'm resolved to pry some answers from him today, which is why I am standing outside the throne room, waiting for him to finish his lessons with Emmeline. My heart sinks when Emmeline exits with a gloomy expression on her face. Did something happen? Rod looks exhausted. That's what I intended to find out. Whatever it is, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I hope so. Emmeline gives me a confident pat on the shoulder as I enter. Inside, Rod is standing by the window, his back to me. Rod? When he turns to face me, he looks downtrodden. It is enough to make my heart sink. Oh, Diana. May I speak with you? There is a long pause before he nods. I said this yesterday as well, but You did not seem well when we were having lunch at the Martian. Are you alright? I'm fine. You keep saying that, and I know it is not truth. Do you trust me so little? Broad expression shudders. Never. I trust you with my life, Viviana. Then why won't you talk to me? I move closer, close enough to examine his face. The dark circles are still there, and I can tell from his rigid posture that he's tense. You were up again last night. You were up again last night? I thought that you said you were going to rest early. I did go bed early, but falling asleep is another thing entirely. What keeps you awake? I have a lot on my mind. Is there anything I can do to help? Rod shakes his head. Thank you for worrying about me, Viviana. But this is something I need to sort out myself. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't have the right words yet. You need to stop pushing yourself, Rod. We all have our limits. Rod stiffens. I know that. But I didn't sacrifice everything just to eat a wall like this. He offers a feeble smile. You know what? You're right. Maybe the rest will do me some good. I'll see you later, Viviana. He heads for the doors, shoulders slouched beneath some invisible weight as he exits. The sudden solitude falls on my shoulders like a cold blanket. I wish suddenly, with all my heart, that he had never made that wish. Rod seems to only become more frazzled over the next couple of days. There has been an improvement in his condition. It tells me that his exhaustion stems from the stress he is under to meet everyone else's expectations, and that he just needs to become accustomed to them. But he says that every day, and there is still no change. This can't go on. I'm worried about his health. Force myself to stop pacing. If he's not worried about himself, then perhaps I ought to make this about me. I can tell him that my worry for him makes it impossible for me to focus on anything. I note myself and mind made up, walk out of the room to find Rod. I ask around the palace, but though my search is extensive, Rod is nowhere to be found. Where is he? I am just about to turn a bend in the corridor when Emmeline suddenly appears.
Oh, Viviana.
Emmeline?
Oops. I heard you've been asking Rod around about Rod.
Yes. Do you know where he is? Emmeline crosses her arms and regards me thoughtfully.
I do. Let's talk in private.
Talk in private? Why? I concede, regardless of my confusion. You can speak in my room. I'll order some tea to be delivered. On my command, the maids prepare and serve us biscuits and tea. I dismiss them. Once they have set everything on the table, then turn to Emmeline expectantly. So, why are we having a private discussion?
Well, it's about Rod, but I'm sure you know that. Don't tell him I told you anything, okay?
I won't tell, I promise. Emmeline smiles, looking a little defeated.
He's in the forest today, and he'll be there until sunset.
The forest? What is he doing there?
Well...
Emmeline's eyes flit to the biscuits on her table. She fidgets, looking uncertain. It's okay. You don't have to tell me. I'll find out myself.
Sorry.
You at least have some idea of why he's acting so strange? Rod says he trusts me, but I assume there are some things he feels more comfortable telling Emmeline. They are siblings after all. Emmeline hesitates a moment before answering.
I do, but not because he willingly told me about it.
Emmeline sips absently at her tea.
You know how Rod is. He can be so secretive when it comes to his own matters.
That is a severe understatement.
I'm sorry for not saying anything. I don't want to put myself between the two of you. I know this is a personal matter.
So why are you telling me where I can find Rod now?
I see his exhaustion, same as you, and I'm worried about him.
I need water. Doesn't need hair salon. Much better.
He won't listen to me, so I'm hoping he'll listen to you.
Does Ophelia know?
Yes and no. Mother knows he's stressed, but I doubt she knows how much he's been pushing himself.
I sigh as I set down my cup. Thank you for telling me this, Emmeline. Emmeline smiles.
Good luck, Diviana.
After Emmeline excuses herself, I head out to search for Rod in the forest. I hear the familiar but no less shocking ring of metal against metal as I enter the forest. It is the sound of a battle. Sparring knights, perhaps? But why would they be practicing in the forest? There are knights surrounding the perimeter of this forest, so I know that whoever is fighting has permission and reason to be here, but I cannot imagine what it is. I quietly weave my way through the trees, only stopping when I spot two men sparring at a distance. Quickly, I duck behind the tree. I stare wide-eyed at the sight before me. Again. Are you sure? Maybe it would be best to take a breather. What is happening here? Rod told me before that his swordsmanship is terrible, so I am perplexed to see him standing before Garland with a sword, sweat dampening his forehead. I insist. Rod just barely managed to block Garland's strike as he winks again at him. The force of it makes Rod stumble, and he trips and falls. So Rod, are you alright? I'm fine. Rod grasps Garland's hand and gets back to his feet with the ground. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put so much power behind that last strike. You don't have to apologize. I was the one who didn't react the right way. Rod wipes his forehead with the back of his hand. Let's do it again, one more time. Despite his clear exhaustion, Rod's eyes are filled with determination. This looks like lessons, but why did they not tell me about them? Why is he taking them in the first place? And most importantly, why must all of this remain a secret? Viviana, I know you're insatisfied right now, but trust me, I've learned from my mistakes. From here on out, we face our problems together. And yet, here he is, keeping this a secret from me. The last time leave was the wrong one, so I step out of my hiding spot and slowly walk through the dwelling pair. So this is where you've been. Rod jumps. Caroline immediately falls to looking closer. I can imagine Caroline like Rod just turning like, huh? And Caroline being like, shit. Your Highness. Hello, Garland. I'd like to talk with Rod alone. Garland rises to his feet and nods. Of course, Your Highness. Once Garland is gone, I turn to look at Rod expectantly. What's happening here? How did you find me? Answer my question. Em told you where I was, didn't she? It doesn't matter how I found out. Answer the question, Rod. Why do you continue to keep me in the dark? I want to help you. Rod shakes his head. I know, you want to help me, and I don't want you to worry, but Viviana, this is something I can't accept your help with. Rod, please, I know I'm worrying you, which is why I keep telling you not to worry about me. I'm not keeping secrets that will hurt you, I promise. In the long run, this will be better for both of us. I would find that more convincing coming from someone who does not look like he's running himself dry. But sighs. I know I have no right to keep asking you to be so patient, but please, I only need a little more time. I think back to our conversation in the throne room. Is this about needing time? Is this about needing time to find the right words? I could say that. Rod has always spoken more clearly through his actions than his words. I've been patient all this time. I suppose I can continue to be so, but I'll not allow you to keep your secrets forever, Rod. I hope you know that. It's not forever. Oh my god, why do I keep doing this to myself? It's not for forever. In fact, it's not for much longer at all. Soon, everything will make sense. And when I explain everything, you can scream at me all you want. Fine, I'll see you later then. I only have the energy to muster a weak smile before turning and heading back to the palace. I haven't spoken to Rod since yesterday. We met briefly for breakfast, but he left soon after, saying he had to catch up on some important reading. Cannot help but be disheartened. Ever since our courtship was made public, Rod has been busier than before. Why did he work himself so silently? I choose to trust him, and yet I'm still anxious. Viviana, focus. Laura's words jolted me from my musings. Sorry. Today, Laura is teaching me fire magic. I've only learned how to use ice and electricity so far. Since this is our first lesson, Laura assigned me reading before we actually start practicing. I'm doing my best to concentrate on the words, but my mind constantly drifts to Rod. Laura flicks my forehead. I flinch and glare at her. What was that for? Do you even understand what you're reading? Of course. Really? Because we've been staring at the same page for half an hour. What? I glance at the book and I'm horrified to see I'm still on the same page. Let me guess, you have a certain grumpy boy on your mind. Hey, no ice in the classroom. I pull back from the table when I realize there is frost creeping up the edges. I close my eyes and take a few deep breaths to calm myself. When I open them again, the frost is gone. That bad, huh? He's keeping secrets. Sounds like a pride thing, right? Laura grins. But has always been prideful, hasn't he? She sighs. Man, it can be so difficult. This is so true. Everyone is like, oh, girls are so complicated, women are so complicated. But we are so simple. Meanwhile, you are the confusing ones. It sounds if you speak from experience. Believe it or not, I did have a husband once. Her expression dampens. And a daughter. You did? Years ago, my husband was a human. He died many years ago. My little Laura... Maria. She shakes her head. Her voice is whispered to him. Then she continues. Let's just say that both of them are in a better place now. Never knew Laura had a family. Laura, I'm so sorry. Unexpectedly, Laura flicks my forehead again. What did I do? I'd rather see you annoyed than sad. Melancholy doesn't suit you, princess. Anyway, enough about me. We were talking about your relationship. She's into the tea. She's like, okay, now, continuing the tea. She crosses her arms. Personally, I don't think it's worth worrying yourself over this. If Rod is so stubborn, let him stress himself out. But I worry about him pushing himself to the brink. Laura snorts. Take it from me. There's only so much stress a body can handle before it shuts down. If Rod needs the rest, he'll have no choice but to succumb to his exhaustion. That sounds awful ominous. Laura shrugs. You've fallen asleep during your lessons plenty of times because you've overworked yourself. I swear, you two really are the same. Laura grins. Anyway, all relationships have their obstacles. You'll get past this. You turn back to my book with a groan. I turn back to my book with a groan. So I try my best to resume studying. It is useless. My thoughts are much too scattered. In the end, Laura leaves early, telling me she'll return when I am in a better headspace. Laura's words calms my nerves some, but my agitation still builds throughout the night. I glance at the sparks on my fingertips. I have to close my eyes and pray to get them to disappear. An idea crosses my mind as I am concentrating. Laura help her dispel some of my worries, if only temporarily. Perhaps it would help to speak to someone else about this. Someone who knows Rod better than me. We will ask our new mama. What? I find Ophelia in the dining hall, seated in front of two maids holding up both samples. Good evening, Ophelia. Her expression brightens when she sees me. Oh, lovely. I could really use your help, dear. She gestures to the samples. Which color should we use for the ball? White with gold trims or velvet with blue? I like her dress. Velvet is red, so I don't feel like red and blue are that good of combination. I mean, depending on the red and depending on the blue. But white with gold trims look just fine. My eyes immediately set on the white. Thank goodness you have good taste. The material is brighter, more eye-catching. White. White with gold trims it is. Just like her dress. Her dress is just like gold and white. It's just like chef's kiss. The maids bow before leaving the room. Now that's done with, I need to make sure there are enough lilies for the festivities. Right, I keep forgetting the ball is in 2 weeks. Ophelia looks up. I'm assuming you did not come here to help me plan. What can I do for you, Diana? She gestures to the chair in front of her, and I sit with a sigh. It's about Rod. Let me guess, secrets? I blink. So you know. I'm his mother. I always know. Do you know he's actually opened up in recent years? He used to be much quieter. It is at times like this that I recall the kind of person he was when he was cursed. Even then, he was keeping secrets, dangerous secrets from me. He has always talked down his own discomfort to put those he loved first. Ophelia laughs. I know it still seems like he's a closed book, but this is the way he's been for a long time. He's always been fiercely independent, and so determined he'll take on burdens without thought to how his well-being will impact others. You often have to read in between the lines with him to figure out how he's feeling. Maybe I need more practice in reading him then, because right now I'm frustrated I cannot get him to open up to me. Ophelia grasps my hand and gives me a gentle squeeze. Rod never keeps secrets that would harm those he loves, but he has no qualms about keeping secrets to harm him. Besides, he promised not to keep secrets anymore. Liz shakes her head. Perhaps he thinks he is keeping his promise. Maybe he feels this secret is different from the rest. I understand your frustration, Viviana, but I believe if anyone can convince him to speak about things, it's you. I've tried multiple times. I think you underestimate yourself. The old Rod would never have told anyone about his wish. But he told you, because he wants you, wants all of us to trust him. Have you tried telling him how this is making you feel? We all know Rod can be self-absorbed when he's trying to do the right thing. I've told him I'm worried about him. But what about you? How do you feel? I pause. Back when I was searching for Rod, I resolved to frame this issue around me rather than him. But I have not thought about my feelings, only my concern for him. Relationships are give and take, Diviana. Thinking about how this impacts you isn't selfish, it's a necessary conversation. It is as if she reads the thoughts right from my mind. Then I'll try again. Thank you, Ophelia. Of course. You know I'm always here for you, Diviana. Everything will be resolved soon. We'll see. I hope so. I want to hug her. The next day, I'm on my way to my room for magic lessons with Laura, when I see familiar faces approaching from the other side of the corridor. Honestly, I feel like I hear a new piece of gossip every hour. Isn't that the way it's always been right before the ball? All anyone whispers about are secret courtships. It's ridiculous. Carlin laughs. Well, the novels need something to talk about. Oh. He smiles when he notices me walking through them. It's not the horseshit that happened before. The two knights bow. Greetings, Your Highness. Good morning, Your Highness. Journey and Garland, once distrusted by the knights, began their titles years ago, or rather, they were promoted. Julian is now the High Commander of the Order of Caldera, the first woman to ever receive the title. It wasn't long before she made Carlin her second in command. We're sorry you couldn't accept the Martian invitation. I love her short hair now. But also it makes me miss my short hair. Even to my hair isn't that long. We were really looking forward to it, but that day just happened to be the first day of training for the new recruits. Shireen was annoyed and we smiled. Well, suffice it to say that she made the new recruits work extra hard. Shireen laughed out aside. You know that's not the reason I push them so hard. It is an effort to keep my lips from curling into a smile when I see the flush in Julian's cheeks. Carlin coughs. Anyway, next time we will definitely come by a visit. I'm sure everyone would love that. It seems we've been busy every day she considers, for forever actually. Have you at least had enough time off to treat yourself to some night outs? Erin mumbles, something beneath her breath as Carolyn blushes. This time I cannot help my smile. I found out the two of them were courting each other about a year ago. I was out on the midnight stroll when I saw them walking through the gardens hand in hand. Oh well. He glanced at Julian, who looks moments away from bolting down the corridor. No need for details, I just want to make sure you two were doing well. We couldn't be doing better, right, Glenn? Some extra free time would be nice, but I'll take what we have. We'll be sure to make the next dinner, Princess. I look forward to it. As will we. They excuse themselves, and I head off to my room. I have just pulled down one of the study books from my shelf when my voice causes me to jump in surprise. Princess! The book falls from my hands as I whirl through the bedside table, where Sebi is from some reason sitting. Sebi? How did you get here? I lean down to pick up the book. I asked Emmeline to leave me here. She was going to wait around too, but she ended up having to leave early for her lessons. We're sorry for barging into your room without permission. Why are you in my room in the first place? I'm here about Rod, of course. He's making a mess of things as usual, so I came to clear things up. I raise an eyebrow as I seat myself on the bed. I wish you could still read his mind for me. I don't need to be able to read his mind to know what he's thinking. Rod's always been an easy read for me. That's why he doesn't take me around with him now, you know? He knows I can see through him better than anyone else. Sebi sighs. It gets really lonely in this room. I feel a soft thing in my heart. Perhaps Sebi is good at reading others as well. Or he speaks up immediately. It's okay though. Emmeline lets me ride around on her shoulder sometimes. So Rod won't take you with him because he's worried you'll reveal his secrets? More or less. So, are you here to give me all of the secrets of his secrets then? No, I promise I wouldn't say anything. Sebi laughs when I furrow my eyebrows at him. Rod is bad at these sorts of things. I came to tell you that he's not keeping a secret from you, Princess. He's trying to surprise you. Surprise? Still, Emmeline's been telling me that he's really pushing himself. He is. That is the reason I've been so concerned. Princess, let me tell you something about Rod. He may seem quiet on the outside, but inside, his mind is so loud. He thinks about so many things all the time. He worries and he stresses and overthinks about everything. Honestly, it's amazing he keeps it all out to himself. Back when I could read his mind, I didn't just read his thoughts though.
I saw into his dreams sometimes too. Old faded memories that made everything make more sense.
Memories of what?
Let me remember.
The toy is quiet for a few moments. Even though Sebi cannot alter his expression, I imagine his face crunched up with concentration, and then
Rod's father died of some incurable illness when Rod was only 8. Rod barely remembers him. But you know what he does remember? His father's final words. Take care of your mother and sister for me. He takes that promise seriously, maybe too seriously. That's probably part of the reason Rod is the way he is. Why he's taken on so much responsibility and kept his worries to himself since he was young. He always thinks he needs to be better, but the best for his family. And I know he feels the same way about your relationship.
But he doesn't need to be that way for me. I really love him the way he love him the way he is. Sebi sighs.
But Rod doesn't think that way. He holds himself up to higher expectations. He always has. And I think he always will. He wants to be the most mature, most responsible, most dependable person, and he can possibly be. That's why he works himself so hard. That's why he sacrifices so much. I will tell you more, but Rod will kill me if he finds out. If he finds out I'm in your room.
You've told me enough, Sebi.
Glad to help, princess. That guy still can't do anything without me.
I laugh. He really is troublesome, isn't he?
Agreed.
Sebi sighs.
Anyway, I should be getting back to Rod's room before he returns. Hopefully, Emmeline will be back soon too. Oh, that must be her.
I head over to the door. I expect to see Emmeline on the other side, and I am surprised when I see Rod instead. My back cracked. Rod? Hello, can we talk? I step to the side, using my body to hide Sebi from the view. Let's talk somewhere else. Rod raises an eyebrow. Wait, why not just your room? I'd like to change of scenery. I've been stuck in here studying poetry and books all day. Rod looks at me quizzically. Then, before I can stop him, he leans past my shoulders to peek inside. His eyes widen. Sebi?
Oh, hi, Rod. What's that?
Sebi was... There's only one reason he'd be here.
I was just trying to fix your mistakes.
Rod sighs deeply. I know. Rod grabs my hand and pulls me away from the door. Let's go. Wait, where are we? I'd rather talk to you without a certain noisy plush in the picture. Rod leads me to the throne room, which is empty at this time of day. Oh my god. He closes the door behind him, then turns to me with a sigh. So, how much did Sebi tell you? Enough, I think. Tiviana, I'm sorry. Before I can react, Rod grasps his round around me from behind. I'm shocked when he rests his chin on my shoulder. Shocked and then relieved. It is so nice to feel his touch again. I have missed it so much. I missed you, Rod. I missed you too. A shiver at Rod's warm breath against my ear. I spoke to the king today. With father? Yes. I asked him for advice. How appropriate that I went to Ophelia with the same request today. To my mother? What did she say? That I needed to be clear about my feelings. Ah, the king said something similar. He told me I should be more honest. That there was no point in secrecy if it led me trust. I've been so accustomed to keeping secrets for so long that I think I've forgotten how to tell the truth the right way. Oh my god, my voice. Secrets are comfortable. Well, keeping a secret makes me feel safe. There are less expectations, less disappointment. If you keep things from people, all I want is to make you proud of me. Everything I've done to make your life better, to make our life better. And these things I'm keeping from you, I promise I've never keep them from you because I don't trust you. I just don't want you to worry about me. That's impossible, Rod. I'm really realizing that now. The way I've been acting is selfish. The king made me see that. I step out of Rod's embrace so that I can cup his cheek. Not selfish so much as selfless. I think all you ever think about is how to make things easier for me. You know how to think about taking care of yourself too. You've told me countless times I don't need to prove myself to be worth of you, but you're not proud of yourself. All this time, it was so simple. I keep telling Rod he was good enough, but that means nothing if Rod does not believe it himself. Rod looks at me surprised. Then he smiles, a sad smile. You're right. But it's not just about that. I've always wanted to be the best I could be for you because you're... You gestured at me. You're going to be the Queen of Angel. You're the Tenebra Bearer. You've worked so hard to be where you are, and it's only fair I match your effort. Made myself a prince to be the worst of Rorica, but it didn't matter because that was never who I was meant to be. But this, he grasped my hand. I want to build this reputation for myself. This time, I wanted magic to give me a clean slate, not an advantage. And the secrets? I really did want to surprise you. I don't mind running myself dry if it means improving, especially in the short run. This is nothing, Diana. I wonder if this is the surprise Sebi was referring to, or if there is more to this than secret sword practices. But grounds. In the end, the way I handled all of this was very childish. I acknowledge that. I think that's the most mature thing you have said all night. Rod flushes, but before I can say anything, I rise to the tips of my toes, plant a kiss on his cheek. I'm sorry too. I wish we could have had this conversation earlier. But Rod, I hope you know that I'm proud of you. You are the hardest working person I've ever met. I did not fall in love with you for your accomplishments. I fell in love with you because of who you are. Rod lets out a deep breath. He suddenly looks relaxed, at peace. I wrap my arms around him and lean into his chest. Let us try this again. No more secrets? Rod presses a kiss on my forehead. No more secrets. He pauses. Surprises are okay, but you're not allowed to run yourself down to the point of exhaustion, understood? Rod laughs against my hair. Fair enough. He tilts my chin up, and the two of us share another kiss in the quiet of the throne room. Emmeline and I emerged from Viorica's store. After a 2-hour visit, Sebi, who is sitting on Emmeline's shoulder, laughs aside of as we exit. Finally, I feel like I have had my cheeks pinched for hours. When laughs. It's because Viorica's cousins adore you. Sebis grumbles, but I cannot help but smile. Viorica's child cousins were in the store today when he came to visit. Viorica has been watching them while their parents are on a vacation. I haven't been able to work yet. I really need it to. I suspect that her cousins were a little easier to distract today because Sebi was with us. Emmeline and I have been trying to make him take him more places with us lately. You will enjoy that attention. You just do not want to admit it. Oh my god, what is the voice? But my poor cheeks. Would you rather have been stuck in Rod's room? I could swear the plush shudders. I guess the kids aren't that bad. Emmeline pats Abby's head as we make our way into the town plaza. Back when I was Emmeline's personal maid, I made to the town with her frequently. Didn't like going out then, but now I find these little excursions permissible, enjoyable even. Emmeline likes to show me the stalls, the stalls, and treat me to her favorite baked goods. So far, my favorites are the candied apples. Emmeline sighs wistfully. I love it when Viorica's cousins come to visit. They're adorable. I'm sure they enjoy your company as much as you enjoy theirs. Don't you find them endearing? I shrug. Children are difficult for me to understand. When I was young, I distrusted most children my age because mother insisted they were trying to use me. I think they appreciate your honesty, children usually do. Oops. Emmeline gives me a teasing smile. Someday, I think you'll make an excellent mother. Oh my god, I'm missing Savvy's in Emmeline's voice. One day I think you're making an excellent mother. I freeze so suddenly I nearly trip over a passing Martian. What? I put a hand to my mouth, horrified that the word came out so I pitched. More than a few town folks glanced at me curiously. What? Did I say something wrong? I reached out to grasp Emmeline's hand with a grumble, pulling her along with me. Where is my air clip? Here. When I finally pull us out of the crowds, Emmeline is laughing. I failed to see how that was amusing. You're adorable when you're embarrassed. I just said I did not understand children. Sebby coughs. Rod seemed... Oh my god. Rod seems like he'd be mystified by children too. Don't give Rod enough credit. He's fiercely loyal to those he loves. Emmeline is smiling at me mischievously, turning away with a sigh. I feel like I've fallen into a trap.
I don't know, please go on. I love it when you and Rod gush about each other. You think someday they'll have a child to gush over?
Both of you, stop talking! The last thing on my mind right now is children. The more I think about it, the more embarrassed I become. Emmeline must tell from my silence that I'm uncomfortable, because she shifts the conversation to herself.
Someday, I would like to have a family of my own.
I look at her curious. The last time she was interested in another man, Varg. The masked man was Mit's accomplice. He disappeared after I broke my curse, and we still have been unable to uncover his identity. Emmeline was heartbroken. She really seemed to want to get to know Varg better. Since then, she hasn't seemed to connect with anyone else, at least not so far as I'm aware. I know for a fact you would be an amazing mother.
Thank you, Diviana. Someday, I hope I'll have the opportunity to have a family, but I'm not in no rush.
She shakes her head.
Speaking of rushing, you and Rod have taken everything very slowly, haven't you?
What do you mean? Emmeline laughs.
Well, it took you a while to resolve the most recent issue.
You make it sound like we were fighting, when the problem was that Rod was being secretive. It really is a special kind of sovereign. Sabi sighs dramatically.
Welcome to my world, princess. Can you imagine what it was like to listen to an overthinker's thoughts, but no, he wasn't ever going to speak them aloud? Rod is so over dramatic.
Really do know him best, don't you, Sabi?
Of course. I think Savvy should be a relationship counselor. I would be an excellent counselor.
The two of us share another laugh as we turn and head back to the palace.
Viviana, thanks again for accompanying me today.
It was my pleasure. Emmeline taps Savvy on the head.
Let's go return you to Rod's room, shall we? Back to the dungeon.
Emmeline laughs.
We'll see you later, Diviana.
Good night, princess. On my way back to my room, I see father. He's heading back from my door when he stops noticing me. Oh, there you are, Diviana. How was today's outing? I hang him curiously. It is rare for him to seek me out. It was fine. Viorica's child cousins were visiting. Emmeline talks at length about how endearing she finds them, I suppose. Finally, I burp! Oh my god, I feel so relieved now. Can you spare a few moments, Diviana? A few minutes, Diviana? My curiosity sharpens to a wariness. Of course. Then shall we talk? Shall we walk? He offers his arm, and I set my hand in the crook of his elbow. The two of us begin to wander the corridors, which are thankfully quiet at this time of day. So, I hear you and Rod have resolved things. Yes, finally. I glanced at him. He told me sought you out for advice. Father smiles, almost looks relieved. I'm glad he came for me to advise. I could tell something was amiss. I'm glad he spoke with you. It seemed to clear things up for him. It can be extremely difficult to discern one's feeling when it comes to love. It is a complicated thing. That is why it is so important to self-reflect on your feelings but also on your loved ones. Father pauses to look at me. It is good to see you smiling again, Diviana. I know this long-distance relationship has been difficult for you, but if you ever needed advice, I know what it is like to court someone outside of the noble circle. You and Ophelia are an inspiration. Father laughs. I could say the same about you and Rod. You have sacrificed so much, and you have sacrificed much to be here. I know Rod has, but have I? It is as if Father can read my mind. He reaches out to cup my cheeks. You have come a long way, Diviana. More than any of us. I believe. It is no easy thing learning to trust after being taught not to rely on others. My father falters. Oh my god. I'm sorry I could not teach you that sooner. Every day I am grateful you decide to give me another chance to make things right between us. My heart changes. Of course We both pause at the sound of footsteps. I expect a servant, and I'm surprised to see Rod instead. He looks just as surprised to see us. Am I interrupting something? Of course not. My father presses a brief kiss on the top of my head. Good night, Ivana. Until next time. Good night, Father. Father dips his head in Rod's direction before walking off. Rod leans down to kiss my cheek as he approaches. How was the outing? It was pleasant. I give him a look. What about your day? You've been resting, I hope. After we had that conversation the other day, Rod and I discussed the necessity of taking breaks. I look at him over now, relieved to see the dark circles under his eyes are faded, and that, for the first time in a long time, he looks relaxed. I did. Mother tried to convince me to take the whole week off, Evan. She said I ought to treat myself. Besides, my birthday is one day. I don't need the whole week. What? I stared at him. It occurs to me I have never celebrated Rod's birthday with him. That he has never ever mentioned it before. Rod looks taken aback. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I have never done anything for my birthday, I don't. What do you want? I stepped toward him. Rod looks unnerved. I don't want anything. Having you is enough. Nonsense. Rod runs a hand through his hair and groans. You really don't need to get me anything, Diana, but... He blushes. I would love any gifts you buy me. Anything? Cannot get him just anything. I have to make sure this is the best birthday gift he's ever received. I'll come up with something meaningful, I must. Rod coughs awkwardly. Anyway, we were talking about you. How were Viorik and their cousins? It occurs to me that it has been a while since Rod visited her. Sometimes I think about how strange it is that the reason he came here to be here in the first place is because he wanted to impress her. So much has changed since then. All of us have found happiness in unexpected places and people. I smile. They were well. Viorik is always so lively when the children are around, and Savvy was very good at distracting them while we all spoke. Rod snorts. Abby's a good distraction. I look at him curious. Have you visited her recently? I have. I wouldn't stop pestering me until I did. I glanced at the night sky, and the moon illuminates melancholy in his eyes. You're right, she's more lively. I'm happy for her and her husband. And tinglingly, I reached out to grab his hand. After a few moments, Rod leans into me. Strange, isn't it? How quickly time passes. Derek had been married for a while now. I can feel his eyes on me. We're married on the day. What kind of wedding would you want? My cheeks warm at this question. This is the first time he's ever mentioned marriage. More chapters. But probably not doing those two today. I'm also starting to feel I'm waiting for this chapter to end because I'm starting to feel it on my throat. Something simple. You know, I dislike decadence celebrations. Something simple would be nice. Being with you is the important thing. Rod sighs. It's a relief to hear that. I don't do anything with you, but an elaborate celebration would be. Try to imagine him on some grand stage with a spotlight trained on him. Uncomfortable? To say the least. A wedding is a celebration for two people, not one. I'd never suggest anything you would be uncomfortable with, but look at him curious. Why do you ask? Wanted to know your preference? I've been thinking about the future a lot lately, so I wonder why. He turns away, shakes flushes. You're blushing. I'm not. Rod turns his attention skyward again. Saw a smile on his face. This might be strange to say, but I'm really glad I was cursed. It's strange to think I wouldn't know you otherwise. Rod steps back and tilts my chin up. I look into his eyes so bright in this darkness and smile. I wouldn't be here right now like this. He throws his fingertips on my cheek until his thumb is brushing my lips. I don't think I saw this before, did I? Then he leans down and presses his lips to mine. First, it is a slow, sweet kiss, but then his hands travel on my back, drawing shudders up my spine as he pulls me closer and deepens the kiss. It is a kiss I sink into, a breathless kiss I never want to surface from. When Rod finally pulls away, his cheeks are endearingly rosy, but the shock on his face. I have no doubt my own face looks the same way. I'm sorry. I laugh. It's a good thing the walls are so empty tonight. Suspiciously so. I hope no one was watching us. The thought makes me want to hide under my blankets forever. I shake my head. Not apologize. That was very nice. Why are you looking at me like that? Rod clears his throat. Nothing. I'm glad you thought it was nice. Nice? The longer he stands here, the more awkward this becomes. Rod coughs. We should get some sleep. That is a good idea. I reach out and took his hand. He walked me back to my room. We say our good nights before parting for the night. I stared at the cakes lined up for today's taste test. Ophelia decided to leave it to Emily and I to choose the best cakes for the ball. So far, I have tasted 3 cakes, but I am unable to concentrate on the flavor. My mind is on the ball, which takes place in 1 week, and more importantly, Rod's birthday is in 2 days, and I have yet to come up with a gift idea.
This chocolate mousse cake is the best so far. What do you think, Diana?
I nod absently. Moon leans forward, squinting. What?
You said that, but you haven't even tasted it yet.
She gestures towards my fork, still half raised to my mouth. Sorry.
What's on your mind?
Rod's birthday.
Oh, I just recently bought my gift for him.
Why did you not mention it to me earlier? Why did no one mention it at all? I narrow my eyes at Emmeline, who raises her hands in surrender.
I just remembered a few days ago. I will always forget. Rod never likes to make a big deal of it. I'm surprised that you know about it.
He brought it up accidentally to me. Emmeline laughs.
That sounds like him. So,
she leans forward.
Do you have any gift ideas?
I put by him something, so probably the other two are the correct ones. I don't know how to sew, and I think it's the best to play to my strengths. Emmeline claps her hands.
Yes, that can we add another member to Rod's plush family.
I wonder if Sebby will become competitive.
I'm sure he'll love it.
I'm not myself. Alright then. I'll give it a try after we finish with these cakes and Emmeline.
Yes?
I can trust you to keep this a secret from Rod, yes?
Of course, my lips are sealed.
I had servants purchased some supplies for me when I was tasting cakes. When I return to my room, everything is waiting for me on my desk. I will let myself up in my room for hours. My excuse is that I'm studying magic, but really, I spend the whole day working on the plush for Rod. Emmeline helps make the lie more convincing, and no one comes by to check on me. They fades to deep night, and then, finished. Set down my tools and hold up the small plush.
It's so cute.
Let me see.
No.
I was taking a screenshot for Choco. Wait a minute.
Yes.
When is Choco? I didn't skip anything by clicking on. Okay. This is the first time I've ever made something like this. And I struggle with the more intricate stitches. But this does not look as bad as I feared. I glance up and I'm shocked to see that this is midnight. One more day until Rod's birthday. Who knew I'd be able to finish this so quickly? I make my way over my bed, and close my eyes. Sleep comes quickly that night, and it is not long before I fall into darkness. The day of Rod's birthday, I ask him to meet me at our special meeting place. I turn when I hear rustling leaves. Did I keep you waiting long? Shake my head. Not at all. I hand Rod my wrapping gift. Happy birthday, Rod. Rod smiles. Diana, you really shouldn't have. He takes the gift, eyes widening as he gently tears the wrapping. This is...
It's a chocolate.
I made it myself, in addition to your plush family. Thankfully, this one is not charmed, so you do not have to worry about another plush giving away your secrets. Rod laughs as he holds the bear plush up, his eyes glittering with mirth. Good, I already have one plush toy that talks my ear off. He runs his fingers over the stitches, then looks up at me in wonder. This is amazing, Diana. Thank you. I shrug. It was a small thing. You going out of your way to do this for me means a lot. He gently tucks a plushie under his arm. I wonder if carrying around will make Sabby jealous. I've wanted to get back at him for sneaking behind my back. He really was lucky, only trying to help you, you know? I know. The two of us make our way back to the palace. Small feasts await us upon our return. Bill and Emmeline are full of smiles and laughter. Last year, they could not celebrate Rod's birthday with him, so they made the celebration as merry as they can. Bill and I excused ourselves early so that Rod can enjoy the rest of the day with his mother and sister. Tomorrow is the night of the grand ball, and the palace is bustling with activity as the staff make last-minute preparations. More than once, flustered servants nearly bump into me as I am walking back to my room. I have just gotten out of dance lessons with Rod and I am eager to relax. I turn a corner and nearly run into someone else again.
We're so sorry.
I step back surprised. Emmeline?
Oh, Diana.
Emmeline bends over, reaching for a piece of parchment that apparently fell to the floor during our near collision. I notice a family crest embedded into the letter stamp. A letter from Brigantia? I eye her curiously. Is that from Claude?
Not exactly.
I consider the only other person who would be writing to Emmeline is Prince Lance. Emmeline tells me they get along. I've only spoken to Lance a few times myself. Didn't know he wrote to Emmeline. Lance then? Emmeline suddenly looks embarrassed. Guilty, Evan. Is there something you would like to tell me? She fidgets, suddenly looking very nervous. We could talk in my room if you'd like.
Yes, let's...
I plop myself down on the bed and gestured for Emmeline to sit beside me. So, Prince Lance, do you write to him often?
Only about once every month.
Is this a secret?
Oh, not at all. I just figure no one would care. Lance and I were discussing mundane things over letters.
Mundane things like...
everything from palace life to history. Lance told me he wanted to learn more about NGL when he last visited, so he suggested exchanging letters. You remember when the Burgundian royal family visited a year ago to thank you for dispelling Claude's curse?
I do remember, it was nearly a year after I dispelled Claude's curse. That was the last time he and his family visited, and when Claude first brought up the dance instructor position to Rod. So, you have been exchanging letters for a while now. Emmeline smiled sheepishly.
Yes, it's never been a secret, but I'm so sorry I didn't tell you earlier.
No apologize, no apologies necessary. You don't need to tell me everything, you know?
I know, but you've been so honest with me.
I'll not say no to details now, if you would like to share them. Emmeline has always been a good listener, and great at giving advice. The least I can do is try to repay the favor.
There's not much to share.
Your face says otherwise. Emmeline put her hands on her cheeks with a sigh.
I've already told you the gist of it, but recently Lance has mentioned it. He'd like to spend time together. He even mentioned
courting you. Emmeline huffs out a soft, nervous laugh.
Not exactly in those words, but yes. He'll be here for tomorrow's ball, but I don't want him to ask father for permission then.
Why not? It seems as perfect an opportunity as any.
Because this ball is for you, and because Rod...
She freezes. Because Rod what?
It's nothing, just ignore me.
This wouldn't happen to be that surprise everyone keeps mentioning, would it?
You'll see. Anyway, this is a celebration for you and Rod. Whatever might happen between Lance and I in the future, it can wait. You two waited, after all, and now you finally get to have your happily ever after.
Happily ever after. We still have problems to work out, but we are getting there, step by step.
Anyway, please don't tell Rod I mentioned anything. We're so close to the ball too.
I will not say a word. Emmeline sighs with relief.
Thank you.
So, about Lance... I laugh when Emmeline blushes. Have you told anyone else about this? Father obviously does not know about... What about Ophelia and Rod?
I've told Mother, but Rod... I've been trying to find the right time, but Rod can be very overprotective. One time a suitor sent me flowers, and Rod trailed him back to his home and bombarded him with questions.
Isn't that harassment?
It's always been so that way. And he's so stressed now. I'd rather be not have to worry about my relationship with anyone. So I'm keeping it a secret for now.
Like sister, like brother. But I wonder, is this the right thing to do? I think you should tell him.
You think?
Do not let our relationship stop you from pursuing yours. Rod would not want that. Besides, Rod stayed in Brigantia for a year. He knows Prince Lance. When he told me about his time in Brigantia, it even sounded like he respected him.
Oh, that's a relief.
Emmeline looks thoughtful for a few moments as she considers.
You're right. We're not children anymore. And truly, I'm terrible at keeping secrets anyway.
I smile. I'm happy for you, Emmeline.
Thank you.
Regardless of when Lance asks the king for permission to court you, at least you'll get to see him tomorrow for the ball. And here I thought Emmeline was disinterested in all of her suitors. But there was a man all this time she was interested in. When flashes and nods, I'm looking forward to see him again. I grin, and peppering him with questions to make sure he is worthy of you.
Diana, not you too.
Emmeline nudges my shoulder. The two of us continue speaking well into the night. Emmeline does not hint that at what tomorrow's surprise is, but I no longer wonder. Whatever it is, I'm excited for it. It wrote us, chapter 5, and I save here. Because I'm feeling so nice. Oh. Yes. Know exactly who I'm going to read. I think. Yes, nothing. I don't know why that shows it now. I don't show that now. So. Let's see. Oh, this is on. I wanted to read Ari, but I rarely catch this. Yeah, let me just read this then. Why not? Wait, I didn't saw. Oh no, it's fine. So this is a remaster for voice. This is for Horizons Away. And this is the recommend. And we are reading this. So yeah. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow with more Disney because now Tuesdays are Disney streams. So yeah. Till tomorrow for Disney. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.